Bill, it's all yours.
Good morning. I hope everybody's hooked up. We'll call the roll. I'd like to call the meeting to order and call the roll.
I'd be glad to. Mr. Bonaminio,
Here.
Ms. Archibald,
Here.
Ms. President Glyam,
Here.
Ms. Colacry,
Here.
Ms. Dillman,
Here.
Ms. Fisher,
Here.
Mr. Meyerjack,
Here.
Mr. Jenks, the council liaison, is on the call, and I believe Pat Kuzmak, I'm looking for her, is taking the minutes, but she could take the minutes off the YouTube broadcast. So we can actually say the Pledge of Allegiance. I have a flag. So.
Oh, good.
If you don't mind, we all have to stand up and we can say the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
Right.
of the United States republic for which it stands,
one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You know, everybody, I'm glad we didn't have to sing that. That would. Okay, thank you. Bill?
Okay. We'd like to give the approval of the minutes, which shouldn't take long. Or Jerry, would you like to jump down to the plans so that I don't know if John Mylone is there or what, but
We have Nick Cavadas. Is that how you pronounce your name, Nick?
Yes, yeah, actually, not
From
bad. A
Ryland
lot
to
of people
McBroom.
messed that up.
Sorry.
okay,
Yes.
let's jump to the plans and so we can expedite that part of the meeting. Nick, would you like to?
Sure. Thank you guys for having me. As Jerry kindly pointed out, my name is Nick Cavadas. I'm from Mylone McBroom. Mike Doherty and I worked on the plan for 687 South Main. I can actually try and share my screen with you guys in case you don't have it in front of you. Host disabled participate screen sharing.
Hold on a minute.
Sure.
There we go. It should be it.
Okay, we're sharing
There
it
you
so
go.
you can talk, okay, Nick?
Okay, Nick, go for it.
Perfect. If you wanted to scroll down to the LA plan, should be 2 pages down or so. Oh, right there. So what we were going for with this was a layered residential style landscape towards the northern side of the site. We wanted to put up a mixed hedge style, mixed with evergreens and some shade trees to block you from the
I know.
oh, there you go. There's some renderings there. Yeah, so in the front of the buildings, we wanted to do a mixed layering style, evergreen shrubs up along the building face. In front of that would be your seasonal flowering shrubs and ornamental grasses to give you that multi-seasonal interest. Like I said, the northern side of the site, we wanted to give you a mixed evergreen hedge to block out some of the businesses to the north of it. Along the west side, we were just going to do a single row of arborvitae is what we proposed. Something simple and clean that'll not intrude too much on the back patio space of the units to the left. And then on the southern side, we wanted to somewhat mimic what we did on the north and give a mixed evergreen and shade tree look to fill in and give multi-seasonal interest. Nothing too crazy, and like I said, we were just going for a layered residential look to give that multi-seasonal look for the landscape. Those are some renderings from the architect there. They'll have the nice porches on the front and a nice sidewalk space that you can access from Route 10 in case you are walking. And that's pretty much it.
Comments
Nick,
on the landscape?
I have
Yep.
a question. Now,
Sure.
they don't all have garages, correct?
I believe they do all have garages underneath that dashed line space where
Oh,
the
okay.
unit is identified. Those should all be the garage space on the lower
So-
level.
What will their exit be? Onto Higgins or onto Route 10?
Higgins. Higgins will be the only entrance and exit
Okay,
for this site.
got it.
Yep.
Okay.
It's shifted slightly from where the existing old gas station entrance
Right.
was, a little bit more towards Route 10, but in the same general location.
Maria, here's the entrance off of Higgins right here.
I see it.
Correct.
Okay,
Yep.
yeah, got it.
Nick, I
Good.
have a question. How
Sure.
about parking for visitors?
The parking for the visitors would be in front of the garage doors.
So
There
everyone
should be-
has basically their garage plus 2 spaces or 1?
Yes. Yeah, it's like a space and a half to 2 spaces.
Okay.
Okay. I reviewed the landscape plan and the variety of plant materials that you're likely to use. They all look to me. I think there's it looks like it's overplanted, but if you look at this plan, it's a 1 inch equals 10 feet. So it looks like there's not a lot of room there, but there is, because like I say, 1 inch equals 10 feet. And the only thing I question is that the driveway that goes out onto Higgins Road, if you look at one of the drawings here, it shows, and it's this one here with the black car coming out and the red car sitting there. It looks like it's not much room at all. And I didn't know how much. It just may be a computer thing that doesn't show it exactly the way it's going to be. But
Are you referring to one of the photo renderings from the architect?
yeah, the one with the white car right on Higgins Road. That
It
one there.
could just be the angle of the photo. I know sometimes it distorts it a little bit.
Hey,
Yeah.
Bill, the plan says that driveway is 24 feet wide.
Right.
Yeah. But yes, yeah, I understand that. It's just that it just looks funny on the photographs. As I was just kind of figuring that that's what it was, a computer thing, that you just look at the plan and not the picture.
Right. Right.
Yeah. Any comments from anyone else?
I think I missed it. Are these apartments or condos?
Apartments.
Apartments, okay.
Right.
I
And,
have a
I have a
question.
question.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, just a quick question on the drawing, the black and white, I guess, blueprint style. You show a relatively big tree, it looks like, to the right of the driveway. And the photograph doesn't show that. And I'm just concerned about sight lines, because it doesn't seem like there's a huge amount of distance between, if someone was taking a right turn from Route 10 onto Higgins. And so, I mean, I think as much as we like, having a lot of trees and everything, I think the sight line would be more important in that instance there. Because like I said, if a car is coming down Route 10, heading south, taking a right onto Higgins, and someone's trying to pull out, doesn't seem like there's a huge amount of space. So I think that definitely needs to be unobstructed view there.
Sure.
Nick,
those
point taken.
Yeah, definitely a good point to take. The variety that we did select for those trees were Zelkovas. So they are a more higher branching tree, typically 6 or 7 feet. But we will take that into consideration moving forward.
Thank you.
I think the concern was the trunk being a sight line. And I'm looking at the curb line to the center of the tree, probably 3/4 of an inch. So that's really not a lot of room. As the tree grows, the trunk could possibly cause an obstruction.
Sight line
Looking
issue.
to the
Sure.
left here. Just make sure it's back far enough for a sight line. Okay.
Thank you.
Other comments?
I have one comment, Bill. Along the western edge, the row of arborvitae,
Yes.
I'm assuming that those are planted there for privacy, which is wonderful.
Correct.
But my experience with arborvitae is that deer love them. And that the privacy could quickly be eaten away. So I don't know. Bill, what do you think? Is there a variety that deer don't love?
I don't believe there is. They all talk about the giant arborvitae is deer resistant. If you drive around town and you look at my place too, I planted some young ones and they cleaned them right up, right down to the stems.
Yeah, they look like lollipops with the little balls on the top where the
What they
deer
put
eat.
on the substation, wasn't that supposed to be something that the deer didn't eat?
No, at the substation, they're emerald green arborvitae, and I thought the deer would clean them up, and they haven't bothered them.
Yeah, because I remember when they came in with the plans, I thought that was a comment somebody said that the deer usually don't touch them.
Yeah.
And I don't go by that way often enough to really notice to see if the deer are eating them or not.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Sorry, in my experience, the general consensus was the emerald green arborvitaes, which are the tall, skinny ones. They max out at about 15 feet or so. Those are the softer needle style. So the deer will go for those. The ones we proposed were the green giant. So it's a little sharper and they're less prone to being having deer attracted to them. That being said, the deer, when they're hungry enough, they will go for anything. So we will look into something, an alternative possibly for that area. But those green giants will be able to grow the fastest and provide the most amount of coverage the quickest time.
Well, my choice would be the giant arborvitae also, because they are gorgeous. And it depends. Sometimes that place like there could be an area where they might chew them down, but you don't know. Like I say, well, at the substation, I would have thought they would have been eaten up, but they're fine. So I kind of agree with the whole plan. I think that for an evergreen, I mean, you don't have a lot of room between the decking in the back and the property line. So that giant arborvitae would be a good plant to use there. I would rather use the giant than the emerald green. At least they're supposedly deer resistant.
Right. More so, quote unquote, than most other arborvitaes. Yes.
Yes. Okay. Any other comments?
When do they plan to break ground on this project?
Oh, that I'm not sure.
I
John, do
don't
you
really
know?
have an answer for you.
Yeah,
I would imagine in the spring
Yes,
sometime.
that's right, Jerry. They
John,
plan to
thank you.
break ground in the
Have
spring.
they remediated the area as far as, because that was a gas station and there may be, oils and gasoline in the ground?
Yeah, this is John Mylone speaking.
Right.
Hello, everyone. And hi, Bill. I haven't seen you in a while.
Morning, John. Great to see you.
Same here. They've remediated it to the extent that's necessary, and there's a environmental land use restriction on it, which allows the proposed use, but also prohibits any excavation into the site at any substantial depth. Maximum excavation would be 3 feet.
Okay.
So we basically are bringing in some fill over here and keeping this site up so there's no excavation during the construction.
Okay, good. Thank you.
John, I don't know when you came on, but there were two concerns: the line of sight problem that may be created by these zelkovas here, and also the arborvitae, maybe and deer eating them, chomping away at them. And Bill had a suggestion on the type of arborvitae. I think you said the giant arborvitae, Bill. Is that right?
Yeah, I believe these are giant arborvitaes. I don't have my glasses with me. Yeah, they are giant. So hopefully they won't touch them. You just don't know. Substation, I've seen deer over near there. So I thought that they would chew them down. They haven't touched them. So that's a good thing.
So I listened to Jerry. I've been on the whole call. I listened to Nick, and
Okay.
I think Nick is going to talk to his associates and see if there's some alternative. But it sounds like without an alternative, Bill is more comfortable with the giant arborvitae, and we will move the trees, the 2 trees at the entrance back a little bit further to make sure we don't interrupt that sightline in any way.
All right, thank you very much, John. Wasn't aware you were on the call, sorry.
No, that's
I
okay.
have another question.
Go ahead.
Okay, so going down the pike there, a lot of condominium places have signs up identifying their thing. Are you ever planning on putting a sign up to identify the name of the condominiums or no?
These are rentals.
Oh, they're rentals? Okay. Well, I guess even with rentals, they have, sometimes they, like the rentals right next to Highland School or Pond Village or something like that, I was just curious if you're planning on putting a sign up identifying the name of the complex or not.
We haven't proposed a sign yet. I think that since we haven't, if we have to put a sign in, we'll come back. I suspect there might be a very small sign at the entry, nothing on the corner, nothing, this is a residential community, so we're not going to try and broadcast it on the corner, but there might be something small right at the entry, just with the address or something like that.
Okay, thank you.
Are there any further?
I just have one quick question, Bill, if I could.
Go ahead, Jim.
I just noticed, I assume this is just an omission, but the artist rendering doesn't show a sidewalk on the south or on the Higgins side there. I assume there'll still be a sidewalk there, I assume.
Yeah, on the landscape plan, if you look down, I questioned the same thing until I looked at it a little closer. But if you look down at the bottom of the page where those 2 trees are on either side, there is a sidewalk. It appears to me there's a sidewalk that goes through part of the outside of the sketch where the tree is there. There's some print there. I can't quite read it. So it looks like it looks like there's a sidewalk going down to the Route 10 and then all the way up the side of west side of Route 10. So I believe there's a sidewalk there.
Yeah, I did see that in the plan. I just didn't see it in the picture. I just assume it's it's just an omission. I just wanted to confirm that.
Yeah, well, that's what I had with the showing the car coming out of there. It looks like it's there's no room for the car to back up, but it's just a computer thing that doesn't show it. So the landscape plan would override that, and that would it would be the the Bible. You might say it's the plan shows what it's supposed to show. The picture is only just a rendering to show you what it's going to look like. Similarly, it looks similar to that, but the plan is the plan, and the walkway is there. I couldn't find it before either. So yes. Anything else?
Okay. That's it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Nick, I have a personal question. Did you used to work at Cheshire Nursery?
I did, yes.
And we are the Suburban Garden Club.
I was gonna say, I thought there were some familiar faces on here.
Yeah.
How are you guys doing?
You're doing well. Congratulations.
Yes, thank you. Thank you
Good.
very much. How are you all doing?
We're doing fine. Thank you.
Good.
Nick, not
Nice
only
to
is this
see
a
you.
beautification committee meeting, but it's a Suburban Garden Club meeting as well. So.
I asked Mike about that yet. Mike Doherty. I was talking to him about that yesterday. I said, I bet you there's got to be some overlap between the Suburban Garden Club or the Cheshire Garden Club. I'm sure someone's got to be on there. But it's nice to see some familiar faces.
Good to see that you're successful. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Nice job, Nick. Nice job.
Thank you.
Okay, Bill.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the plans as submitted.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second it. That's Pat.
Hey, Pat. Any other discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? The plan stands approved as presented. Oh, there's Pat. Finally got to see her. Okay, thank you very much, Melanie McBroom, and we'll move on to other things on the agenda.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Nick. Thank you.
Okay, we need the approval of the minutes of the October 7th meeting.
I have an amendment to the minutes.
Okay,
On the community pool,
Yeah.
It says here that you felt that planting shrubs is not a good idea. And I thought we had said that perhaps instead of coneflowers and hosta, we might think about small shrubs.
I believe we did too, because we were talking about spireas that bloom all summer. And they take a little shade on that side until the afternoon sun comes around. Yes, I think so too.
So we should just take out the sentence. He also felt that planting shrubs is not a good idea.
That's correct. I'm reading down here. I'm just reading down.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, suggested planting yellow or blue. Yellow or blue shrubs like the, which blue shrub is that? Oh, probably
One at the youth center.
yeah, probably a juniper. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, no, I would take that out because we might want to put a few, but not much. We want something that's going to stay low and low maintenance. So I think we talked about using a few low shrubs, and also the burning bush that are there. We're going to sort of cut them back and let them resprout, and a possibility of even taking them out if they don't come back to look acceptable. But we did talk
I mean,
about.
do you want to jump now down on the agenda too? Because the poll is listed, or do you want to just get the minutes approved and then talk about what we remember we met at the poll?
Yeah,
Yes.
I think that's a good
4 or 5 of us?
idea. I think approve the minutes and the
Okay.
meeting schedule, and then you can get down to the community pool
Okay.
if you'd like.
Okay. Everybody read the whole minutes over. What's next here?
We have to approve the minutes.
And with
As
that amendment to the minutes.
As approve the minutes as amended.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Any other discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
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 Those opposed? The minutes are approved.
As amended.
As amended. Thank you, Jane. Okay. You need to approve the meeting dates for 2021, and I don't know if there's any changes that have to be made, but we usually do that as time passes on, and if something comes up that we have to change the meeting, we'll change it. Otherwise, we will go forward with the dates that were provided to us from Jerry. I imagine Catherine typed all this up. Okay. Is there any comments on the future meeting dates?
Are we staying virtual for a while, or what's the story?
As long as the town manager and the council deems it necessary to stay virtual, we'll stay virtual. I don't have an answer as to when we'll go back.
Okay.
All right.
We need
I'll
motions
entertain
on
a
meeting
motion
dates, though.
Pardon,
So
Jim?
we need motions. We need motions on the meeting dates.
Yes, I'll entertain a motion that the meeting dates provided on each sheet there for the Town Beautification Committee and the Sign Subcommittee be approved. So need a motion.
I make a motion that we accept the calendar as printed.
I'll
There's-
second.
Thank you, Jane.
Thank you.
Any discussion on that? All those in favor? Aye.
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 Opposed? Meeting dates are approved. We've already gone over the site plans for Higgins Road and South Main Street. So we can move on to the planters. I'm sure, I haven't been down West Main Street, but I'm sure that Pat has probably been down there doing some greening up.
Yeah, my husband and I went down the weekend before Thanksgiving and put the greens in.
Oh, good.
And then I put the bows in I don't know, Monday or Tuesday this week. I wanted to wait till after Thanksgiving to put the bows in.
Okay.
So I shoved a bow in each one, so you got greens and bows.
They look nice, Pat.
Thank you. Wait until the first snowstorm. Take up to 35 miles an hour with heavy snow.
Maybe
It'll make them look pretty.
maybe there's snow over the top of them and it'll be all right. Okay. Yeah, we did the community pool already here. It's, with the day we met out there, there was a lot of planting originally, and I'm sure it looked nice when it was first done, but being overgrown and that, we decided to use quite a few perennials, like we were talking about some of those big hostas up against the building, and you need something to fill up the area. There's 2 large areas there.
Okay, now what is the lady's name? Is it Sheila?
It was Sheila.
Sure, Sheila. Because I spent a good deal of time talking with her, and Sheila is a gardener. And I assume that most of the front of that building is close up to the building is shade all summer. I don't know if the sun really can hit the front of the building. So, and then another thing I learned at that meeting was that Park and Rec or Public Works does not take care of the building. It's, she has a person that is exclusively for the pool that takes care of anything that happens inside or outside of the pool. Am I understanding that correctly? So he doesn't, he's not a gardener as such, but she is, so she can maybe guide him along. But I kind of got the impression that, Bill, you were going to show him and you were going to trim down the burning bushes to the right of the entrance, correct?
Correct.
And then maybe we were going to plant like some kind of a small, I don't know, a yellow false cypress or something between them to kind of finish out that section. And then on the left-hand side, we were going to pull those burning bushes out all together. And then a lot of that was going to be, Maria, am I correct?
Right.
Maria,
That's right.
a lot of that, what used to be gardened area, we're going to turn into grass and then kind of create like an interesting edging along the front of the building, but keep it back, maybe 5 or 6 feet from the foundation with mulch. And she says she has a lot of giant hosta that she can divide up from her property. We can kind of mix the hostas. We always have a Solomon seal or ladies mantle or something, the ones that grow in the shade with the hosta.
Right.
So we can create a nice shade garden along the front.
Yeah. But
And then
closer
they
to
have
the
a bench.
back.
Yeah.
The hostas would be closer to the building.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Everything would be closer to the building. Everything would be like in a strip, maybe 5 or 6 feet from the foundation, just to cover up the foundation, to soften the front of the building. Then the rest is grass, maybe a couple shrubs. The rest is grass. And I guess there's a bench inside that was dedicated for someone that they had no place for, so it's inside. Now they can bring it out and put it on that front lawn. There's a couple dogwood trees right there. So you can have the dogwood trees with the mulched area, the shade perennials, and then have a bench.
Right.
And that should be easier for the gentleman to maintain. You cut the grass.
Yeah. Well, he's new in the job. He only was hired about 6 months ago, so he's still learning. But
is this the guy you said hooked up his truck or something to some of the truck?
Yeah, but he's willing to learn. So if we talk him through it, it'll get done.
Have those burning bushes been pulled out to the left?
What's that?
The 2 burning bushes to the left.
Right.
Has he pulled them out?
No, not as of now.
Okay. Because I suggested getting the burning bushes out and at least the dirt flattened out now to not have to do that in the spring.
All right.
If it hasn't been done yet, it's probably getting the ground's getting too hard.
Too cold. Yeah, it's getting late in the season.
So. Now she's got so many plants on her property.
She has beautiful hostas.
Yeah, if anybody, this is the lady who lives on the corner of Ginny Hill and what's the
Jill Lane.
Oh, yeah, that's quite the.
She has all these like little worms and swales, and the whole place is covered with perennials. She got the Cheshire Beauty spot either last year or 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So she knows what she's doing. And I think she has a good idea what she would like to do along the foundation there. And that should be pretty low maintenance.
Sounds like a really good plan, Pat.
Yeah, it should be, low maintenance and
Yep.
near the building, that'll soften the building and the sun shouldn't get to the hostas. The only thing will be, I personally would hire someone, not have her workman flatten the dirt, put in the seed and whatever. It's somebody professional needs to bring in topsoil, I think, do it professional. And that's gonna be cheaper than if we went and bought a whole bunch of shrubs.
Yeah.
She has a sprinkler system, right? She's got a sprinkler that she can put out there, she said?
Yes, she does. Yeah,
With no
because
outside water.
there's no faucet on the right-hand side. It's on the left-hand side. So
But she's
that's
got a
part
long nose and
of the
sprinkler.
problem. There was no way to water that side, but she said she has a sprinkler and they could bring it around and, place it in that garden.
Yeah, she definitely has the ambition to do it and the desire to do it.
Right.
And so
Yeah, my thanks to Pat and Maria and Bill for coming out that morning. I think it was a really good meeting with Sheila Adams and
Yeah.
John Gullick and the maintainer. I don't know about you, but I learned a lot just being there, listening to you guys. Thank you.
Okay.
I still don't know. I'd like to have a plan of what we were gonna put where so that it isn't a hodgepodge because, if we're gonna use, I think she looked at the plan that I had designed and the hostas are gonna go to the back, but I wish we just had like a little plan to kind of guide, maybe guide ourselves just to say, oh yeah, we talked about putting hostas here, or these little spireas. So we like to work. I'd like to work with Sheila when we get ready to do that, so that we can,
definitely. I would
Yeah,
like to get involved with it too.
yeah,
Yeah,
good.
we left that open. They're going to get back in contact with us.
Okay, that sounds good. Okay, the holiday decorations, we were supposed to put them up on Monday afternoon, and it was not suitable weather. So we are going to be out there this morning, around 9:30, and decorate the town hall and then also the library. So anybody would like to join us, the guys do most of the work. We just help them hold the coils of garland so they can wrap them around the poles, but all are welcome to come if they'd like. So that's gonna happen this morning. Jerry, you have anything that you'd like to add to what I've already said?
Yes, since the beginning of the shutdown and the pandemic, I've been spending a lot of time trying to come up with activities and doing activities to support the restaurants and the business community here. There's a lot of pain going on out there, and I'm not telling you anything new. But I've been working with the chamber director and president and the chamber board, but also the Economic Development Commission is very involved. And we've been doing a lot of things. We did some promotional videos, 8 promotional videos. The whole point is, please come out. It's safe to come out. A lot of the safety precautions have been put into effect. Shop Cheshire signs are all over town. Eat local, shop local. We just wrapped up a second campaign urging people to patronize the restaurants here, and we had a drawing yesterday for 4 $50 gift cards, and boy, that was really well received. You see the support, the receipts that came in. So all I'm saying is, shop where you like. It's but just remember the local small businesses here and the restaurants. They support a lot of things that Amazon doesn't and Target doesn't. The little league teams and the football teams and the marching band. So if you can try to keep some of your money local this holiday season, I'm sure the businesses and the restaurants would really appreciate it. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay, are there any other comments or additions we have from our group? Or
Well,
are
I
we-
guess I just don't want it to be forgotten, but, come the spring, I would like to, follow through and getting those trees planted in the north end of town. I guess Jerry's made a couple phone calls, or I'm not sure, but I guess you haven't gotten any responses back yet.
No, but I'll
Yeah.
follow up with that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just something, I don't want to get involved in the pool and we forget about that, the park. Get those trees
I'll,
done.
I'll look after that.
Oh, and another thing, the Rite Aid, I don't know if it's Rite Aid Parklet, or who owns that parklet is responsible for maintaining it. West Main Street, where, the West Main Street stoplight is, Rite Aid, there's that parklet there with the sidewalk going through it.
Yeah.
And a bench. Right in the corner, like if you come up West Main Street, there's a stop sign. If you go straight ahead, it takes you toward the shopping area where Marshall's is. There's a Rite Aid across from the church, St. Bridget's Church. There's
yes,
I know.
There's on a corner, there's a Stop and Shop sign there. There's a little garden area that's got an overflowing garbage can and a bench, and you can't even get into the bench area through the sidewalk anymore because it is so overgrown.
I know what you're talking about.
Who's responsible for taking care of that?
I believe Rite Aid, and what I'll do is I'll talk to the property owner to see who at Rite Aid is the contact, and I'll get after that
I
one.
mean, because the other day, maybe the garbage has been cleaned up. The other day, when I drove by, the garbage can was full and there was garbage lying on the ground. And I think it's also become a safety issue, because if somebody goes in there, you can't see anybody in there. Somebody could be waiting in there. If you're worrying about the trees coming out of the pool, somebody could be in there as well. And it looks terrible. You come off West Main Street, it's the first thing you see coming into Cheshire, Cheshire proper, and there's this just cut it down to the ground, cut everything back.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pat,
I'll
this
turn
was
my
an
attention to
issue-
that, Pat. We had a problem with the former Arby's location. People were dumping there. There was a clothing drop box that became nothing but a garbage can, and they were dumping in back. And I got a hold of their property owner and Arby's, and they finally cleaned it up and removed everything. And they got rid of the clothing drop box, which is, as I said, a big garbage can. And it's unfortunate that's what people are using them for. But
Yeah.
I'll take it for that.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the first things. Yeah, I'm sorry, Susan?
That area has been a problem for a while, because we raised
Wow.
the same issue a few years back. It was cleaned up very briefly, but I've never seen it looking nice. It's always looking
I mean,
nice.
it was nice when they first planted it, but now, I mean, if you're gonna go through the trouble of cutting the grass on the property and keeping the rest of the property fairly decent looking, why don't you take care of the little garden that you planted there?
Exactly.
there
Or you
or
could
cut it
cut
out.
down. Yeah,
Yeah.
and just
Yeah.
plant grass. I
Yeah.
have a question also about the parklet at the corner of Maple and Route 10. I think
Yes.
in the minutes it said that was put on hold. I was wondering why.
I think probably because the public works people were short of staff. They didn't have their summer help. The pandemic got in the way. They basically were rotating people in and out
Okay.
just to keep everybody healthy. I think that was probably the reason. I can't recall.
Okay, well
but
then
there was-
along the same lines as what Pat said about planting trees at Cheshire Park, I'd like to make sure that's on our radar screen for
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I'll take care of that.
because that needs some work.
Because the
Yeah.
pool shouldn't cost much money. I mean, I think four of us know where you can probably get a lot of hostas and
Yeah,
Ladies Mantle and Solomon Field, and Sheila can't come up with it herself. I mean, I would like to get involved with like physically, manually helping her plant that garden. I think that would be kind of neat. So we should, we can give our attention to the community pool, but I don't think the money will necessarily have to go there. So we could still do the trees and clean up that parklet that Susan just mentioned.
Yeah.
If anything, just pull the shrubs out in the corner to start with. We
And
can do
grass.
that now.
The biggest expense,
There you are, you're back.
the biggest,
All right, Bill.
is getting low. I think the biggest expense at the pool is going to be the mulch. Everything else is going to be either donated or somebody's going to split their plants up or whatever. But
Exactly.
yeah, the biggest part will be the mulch. Okay. What else do you we were talking about the pool? Yeah, it's all donated plants. What else is there?
Maybe
Maybe-
a couple shrubs. you know, like maybe a fall cypress or something on the right-hand side.
Yeah,
Yeah, but it won't be much.
no, should not be much, no.
So
No.
that money shouldn't stop us from doing the other 2 projects that we wanted to do.
Correct. That's correct. Yep.
Right after the meeting is over, I'm going to call John Gullick and remind him to get in contact with me and the beautification committee on that planting down at the pool too, before anything is done. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, on
there any
the back of the minutes, it says Jim Jinks had a possible candidate for beautification committee.
Yeah.
Yep, but the 2 openings have to come from the Republican side, though.
Right. And I had contacted, I know, Jerry, you had given me the name of a fella that had a possible candidate, and it never went anywhere. So I don't know if he still has that candidate or what. And if you still have that name, I can recontact him and
All right.
go forward. If you could email me the fella's name to get in touch with. Okay.
All right, Maria.
Thanks. Thanks, Jim.
Yep, sure,
Thanks, Jim.
no problem.
One more thing, that property where they knocked down what was it, Dragon Buffet, anything going there or just gonna be a fence for whatever time period?
No, we're expecting plans. I know they're being worked on, but I don't know when they're going to come in.
Oh, okay.
A decision was put on hold because of the pandemic, but I think things are
Yeah.
a go right now.
Yeah, okay, thanks.
When's that street lamp gonna be replaced on West Main Street?
I don't know. That's Public Works is taking care of that because they're responsible for the street lights. I know they put in for one, I believe, but I'm not sure when that's going to occur.
So we don't physically have the lamp post. We have to get it from somewhere.
We were with CLMP at one time, Northeast Utilities. That's where we got them. Now we own them, and Northeast Utilities is out of that business. So they've got to find a suitable replacement that pretty much matches what's out there now.
Okay.
I'll check with Public Works.
So Catherine, what are you gonna do with all your time?
She's off the meeting right now. I don't know if she's on.
Oh.
Yeah, send her an email or a call or something. She'd appreciate it.
What, care of Town Hall?
Yeah, her email. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay, is there anything further to come before the beautification committee?
No, I just want to wish everybody a wonderful and safe holiday season. It's been a pleasure, and look forward to working with you next year.
Same to you.
Take care of yourself.
You as well.
Everybody stay safe.
Happy holidays.
Okay,
Safe
bye-bye.
holiday season, everybody. Okay,
Thank
I'll
you.
motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
I second it. Jane, thanks a lot. I appreciate it if you could check in on my daughter-in-law.
No problem at all, because I know you can't visit, so.
No, that'd
So,
be great. Thanks, Jane.
Take care.
Take care,
yourself,
Jane.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye,
Have a
everybody.
good,
Bye.
have a good holiday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
happy holidays.